This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. The final home game of the year. And it's the Milwaukee Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals. And welcome to the broadcast booth at Busch Stadium. Rick Horton, Dan McLaughlin with you. Delighted to have you with us. You know what, Ricky, we weren't sure we were going to get to this game, but here we are, and what a season it's been.
Yeah, here we are, and both teams playing today have every reason to try to win today. I mean, this has been a fun ride for everybody in baseball, but it ends today, hopefully, with the Cardinals getting a postseason berth. Now, the key is for them to win today so they can save their pitching for later.
Well, let's take a look at our T-Mobile ticket to the game. And so the Cardinals, if they win, they are in. So, Ricky, just tell us what's going on with the T-Mobile ticket to the game here.
All kinds of scenarios, but the bottom line is the Giants and the Phillies need help, and the Cardinals and the Brewers don't. They both can handle their own business today with a win.
So for the St. Louis Cardinals, it is the lefty, Austin Gomber, getting the call.
He's been terrific as a starter for the Cardinals. He's making his fourth start of the season today. He's not been scored upon yet. He has really answered the bell. You think about the injuries to the Cardinals rotation. They really relied on Gomber, who's throwing 70% of his off-speed pitches for strikes.
It's Austin Gomber making the start today. The plays of 2020. Coming up from the studio when we come back. By the numbers, Rick Horton, what a crazy season it's been.
Yeah, they've had to deal with fatigue. They've had to deal with double headers. They were off for 17 days for COVID-related issues, and yet this team is still playing a meaningful game on the last day of the regular season. They've had not highs, not lows. They've been within 2 games of 500 all year. And you look at the offense, Dan, Tommy Edman leading the club in RBIs, not a real power team this year. In fact, the 2 guys that lead the club in home runs, Brad Miller is not playing today. The other guy, Tyler O'Neill, is batting 9th.
What about the pitching for St. Louis?
Well, Kim has been a great addition to the Cardinals. He's been steady. It's so good to have him back. Of course, you've lost a couple of starters in the mix, so you really rely on the other guys that are still here. The Cardinals pitching has kept them in it in 2020.
And so it comes down to this. Win, and you're in. A season unlike any other, 2020. Starting lineups, first pitch, next. St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers in the final home game of this regular season. Erica Weston, Jim Hayes, Rick Horton, Dan McLaughlin. Beautiful day for baseball. 80 degrees here in St. Louis. And Austin Gomber gets the call in this all-important game.
The low ERA, 1.80, and what I really liked about Gomber his last time out, and that was against Kansas City, is the way he attacked the zone. He really had kind of a very offensive, kind of poised attitude on the mound. His Hyundai pitch arsenal. Of course, you know you're going to see the big curveball from Gomber a lot.
And the first pitch is strike, and we are underway. Garcia batting .244, a couple of home runs. He's driven in 15. Playing in his 53rd game this season. 0-2. So very simply, the Cardinals win, they are in.
And the Brewers win, and they are in. Their incentive is actually a little more than the Cardinals is. The Cardinals have other options of getting in, but the Brewers need to win.
And the lineup for Craig Counsell: Garcia, Yelich, and Braun. Then Jerko, Vogelbach, the DH, Hira, Arcia, Urias, and Nottingham. In the air, right field, Dexter Fowler over and makes the catch. And there's the first out. Cardinals defensively around the horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Carlson, Bader, and Fowler in the outfield. Edman, DeYoung, Wong, and Goldschmidt along the infield, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Cardinals are at 29-28. The Brewers 29-30. So 12 consecutive seasons, 500 or better for St. Louis. Here is Yelich, homer the other night. Shift on the right side of the infield. 1 ball and 1 strike. He has struck out 76 times, 5th most in all of baseball. He has drawn 44 walks, 4th most in all of baseball. 9th lowest average, 202, and danger of falling below 200 today. That's incentive for him. You know he does not want to be below 200. Had Yelich, Baez, Sano, all around that 200 mark. Some big names.
Yelich finds a way to hurt the Cardinals no matter what his batting average is. He's really good now. He's not really as good this season at hitting good pitches, but he's still going to hit mistakes. That's why he's got the high number of big flies.
And a base hit into center field. So on the 2-2, sticks the bat out, picks up a single to center.
Thought it was a decent curveball. It was away off the plate, and he just went and got it. I don't think that was even rolling that much. I think that's just a good swing at a tough pitch to hit. Cardinals would love to have taken care of business yesterday, but you really want to take care of it today. The point I made in our open, Dan, is if you have to play tomorrow, and then if you have to play the second game tomorrow, then you got to use more pitching.
Yep.
And that compromises what happens in series number 1. So win as soon as you can. Of course, that's what you're thinking.
Then again, nothing, and I mean nothing, has been easy in 2020 for these Redbirds.
Oh, 100% true.
Here's Ryan Braun. Hit his 30th career home run off the Cardinals last night. 3rd career home run off of Adam Wainwright. Those 30 home runs are tied with Joey Votto for the most among active players against St. Louis. Greg Console, Mike Schilt. Braun is 7th go-ahead RBI of the season. And he's had a fantastic September and has put the Brewers in this position. Pulled foul.
Well, we had the conversation during the game yesterday about, is it the last time that Adam Wainwright pitches as a St. Louis Cardinal at Busch Stadium? And you think about, what is the future for Ryan Braun? What's the future for the Cardinal catcher, number 4, Yadier Molina? And you shudder to think that it's his last day at Busch Stadium, but we'll have to wait and see on that.
Well, for Braun, his contract includes a $15 million mutual option in 2021 or a $4 million buyout. That's pulled foul.
And then the new economics of our age, the Brewers may just pass on that.
You would think they probably would. More than likely. You don't know, but we'll see.
And that's no reflection on all those things you said about how good a September he's had and how good a player he is. Still is. Still can hit a fastball, can he?
Yes, he can. Sun now peeking through the clouds here at Busch Stadium. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Missed on the inside corner. 6 of Braun's 8 homers have come in his last 16 games. 16 RBI in those 16. Runner at first, Christian Yelich. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
4-pitch pitcher Gomber. He'll throw the slider or the cutter. He'll throw the big curveball, fastball up in the zone. He's also thrown some very good changeup lately. Last couple of starts, seems like that's a real developing pitch for him that he could use to get some key outs. We mentioned this earlier in the week, but the last home game at Busch Stadium, what do we normally see? The fans collectively standing and a cappella singing the national anthem and a tribute to the fans. And it's just, well, it's something I've just come to enjoy, and I missed it today.
Hit down the left field line and foul. And the 2-2 pulled foul again. Happy 87th birthday to Wayne Zijin. Worked at the ballpark, by the way, for 53 years as an event manager. Retired in 2012. Miss all the folks that work here at the ballpark that we normally don't see. So
that's right.
Wayne Zijin, happy 87th. The 2-2 pitch. Pulled, backhanded, out there, the turn, double play. Edmund Wong Goldschmidt. League leading defense for the Cardinals on display. Coming up for St. Louis, Wong, Edmund Goldschmidt. No score after a half inning.
By Ryan Braun, so you got to get it, then you got to make a clean throw to second base, then you've got to have a Gold Glover there to make the quick turn. That was really outstanding Cardinals defense.
Cardinals lineup, and look who's in the middle. Dylan Carlson, Wong, Edmund Goldschmidt, and then Dylan. Molina, DeYoung, Fowler, Bader, O'Neill in the Cardinal lineup. Brett Anderson, the lefty and the starter today for Milwaukee.
He's been right around a 500 pitcher in his career. The Cardinals have seen him already this year. His last two starts have been good ones. He's won both of them. Hasn't walked a lot of batters. Not really a high strikeout guy per se, and he throws a ton of changeups.
2 runs or less in 6 of his 9 starts this year. Big Bender in there for his strike. Evens it up at 2-2.
Been around the game a long time. His Sunday pitch arsenal. There you see 25% usage of the changeup, which he throws at 83.
Chop to the left side. Shortstop Arcia makes the play. Defense behind Anderson. Yelich, Garcia, and Braun. Urias, Arcia, Hira, Jerko, and Nottingham behind the plate. Around the horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tommy Edman now at the plate. And strike one to Tommy, the switch hitter, hitting .255. 5 home runs. He's driven in 26. Fly ball into right, and Ryan Braun backs up to make the catch. Out number 2. Toyota key to the game.
Well, I think the Cardinals need to hit with damage today. You know, you think about the games where they win, they just seem to get hits with runners in scoring position. They get doubles and home runs in those games. And it's not just about getting base runners. It's about doing damage. Of course, Paul Goldschmidt, one of those guys you got to get back going again. Last few days he's been down a little, but he's really been a fixture in the Cardinals lineup in that 3rd spot. He's been consistent, but we need damage from Goldie.
One ball, 1 strike. Into right, that ball will get down. A base hit for Paul Goldschmidt. And the batter will be Dylan Carlson. So the Cardinals have their first hit.
This is just good hitting here. It's taking what it gives you. You're throwing it away. I'm going to hit it away. Goldschmidt's been right around 300 a lot of the year. The on-base percentage good. And here's another opportunity for damage. We talked about it yesterday, Dan, as we were signing off, that maybe about time for Dylan Carlson to be in the middle of this Cardinal lineup. He's the guy swinging the bat the best right now.
Cardinals have been in the bottom 5 this season in the league in slugging percentage from the cleanup spot. So Carlson there, and a fly ball into right, backing up Braun. He'll make the catch. They strand a runner. We have played 1 and there's no score.
Preferred that the Cardinals play better last night, but he feels very good about their current position. Adam gave up 3 runs last night in 6 2/3 innings. He said, "Ball's in our court. We got a great opportunity to win a game and be in the postseason. That's all you can ask for." He was asked if, based on the possibility that could have been the last time he pitches as a Cardinal at Busch Stadium, if there was any emotion for him when he came out of the game. Waino said, "I didn't feel emotion other than disappointment." But Danny, Waino, and Yadi, and what the future holds for them, 2 big storylines to follow.
All right, Jimmy, thank you, and great job this season, my man.
As always.
Thank you, Danny. Great working with you guys and the crew. Our crew is the best.
We've done a remarkable job under what has been very tough circumstances to put these games on.
No question about it. A lot of stuff behind the scenes, the details, just where you can go, how you can help each other, how you communicate. It's all been obviously a difficult world for everybody on our crew, and we appreciate all their help.
3-1 the count on Jed Jerko. Vogelbach on deck, and then Keston Hira. 3-2. Well, I'm sure the Brewers didn't think that their everyday cleanup man would wind up being Jed Jerko by the end of their season.
Boy, that's true.
Shallow right. Fowler. And the catch is made. Well, is this it for Yadi and Waino in St. Louis? Connected careers, undoubtedly.
3-time All-Star for Waino, 9-time All-Star Yadier Molina, 9-time Gold Glover. Of course, they're both going to wear red jackets someday, but we want to see them wear the birds on the bat a little bit longer as well. But either way, terrific careers for these 3 guys. 4 top 3 Cy Young finishes for Waino, and so many good games down the stretch here in 2020. It's given the team a chance to win, including what he did yesterday.
Vogelbach is hit by the pitch.
Or did that hit the knob of the bat? Sounded like the bat, but looks like it feels like it was the wrist. Let's take a look at it. It's just bearing in on him, trying to go fastball up and in, and it's just too far in. And what does it hit? Boy, hard for me to tell, but I would say the wrist. While they're attending to Vogelbach, who has really hit the Cardinals well the last couple of weeks, I've got to tell you about my new favorite pitcher, Dan. I've got a favorite pitcher today, and I didn't really know who he was till today. Adrian Morejon. You know why he's my favorite pitcher?
Well, you're going to tell me.
I just thought I might pique your interest. In fact, he just gave up a run. He's pitching for the Padres today against the Giants. 21-year-old Cuban pitcher, and they're tied at 1 early in that game, and that is a game of significance as we go along. Baseball having all the games with the same start time on the final day of the season. I really love them doing that.
So he's your favorite because you want him to pitch well.
And I want him to pitch well, but then the problem is if he pitches really well, the Cardinals might see him in a few days. So then I'm going to drop him like a ton of bricks.
I got you.
He's out. He's in and then he's out.
You're very fickle these days.
Nothing wrong with that. But I think you can understand why.
I totally get it. Keston Hiura. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals turn to double play back in the first. Liner and caught by Wong. Introducing MLB Film Room, powered by Google Cloud. Create custom reels and search 3.5 million videos. Watch, create, share only at cardinals.com/filmroom. Arcia with 2 outs and a runner at first, and a strike. My friend Brett McMillan works on Cardinals Insider, and his wife Emily celebrating the birth of their son Beckett yesterday. Congratulations, Brett. Lyle Behrens is 89 years young. Happy birthday to Lyle. And Vicky Slater, happy 65th birthday. That's tapped foul.
Maybe the Cardinals can give him a present today.
This does have a different feel to the game. You know, it's the game when we first got back was sloppy.
Yeah,
it just was.
Yeah,
the pitching wasn't quite there. There was some sloppiness across the board when you watch not just the Cardinals or the Brewers or other teams, just in general. This game is different. It has a different feel. Even there is, no fans, no crowd.
I agree.
But they're playing for something. Molina's coming up when we come back. Well, 1 through 8, 5 through 8 right now, and where it may all sit before the day is through.
Yeah, there are 4 teams in the National League. The American League set. There's 4 teams in the National League that are vying for the last 2 spots, including these 2 here.
Out to left, and the catch made on the run by Yelich, in a fine play to take an extra base hit away from Yadier Molina.
That's really 3 hard hit balls in a row now for the Cardinals. The base hit by Goldschmidt the other way was hit fairly hard. Carlson lined one to right, and now Molina lines one to left. Outstanding play on the run by Yelich.
There's Paul DeYoung. I'll give you some other motivation as to why you want to win today if you're the Cardinals.
Okay.
2 off days. Don't hop on a plane. They need some rest.
Well, obviously they're quarantined already, which is an oddity of the season that are playing of the teams that are playing in the playoffs. They started the quarantine last week, so they're all staying in a hotel anyway. So the question is, how fast do you have to get out of here after this game today? And if the Giants take care of business and win and beat my favorite pitcher, Adrian Morejon, if that happens and the Cardinals lose, then they're going to have to hurry to Detroit, either tonight or in the morning. But otherwise, you're right. The rest is needed.
Yeah.
We always talk about the rest and we talk about pitching, because that's one of the things that always happens from day to day. How many days rest does this reliever have? How many days rest? But we haven't really had in our system talking about that related to players. And I think they're the guys that need the rest even more.
Out to center field. Pretty well hit. And the catch is made up against the wall. What a catch. Garcia up against the wall, robbing Paul DeYoung.
I think fair to say he wasn't afraid of the wall. I mean, he appears to be okay, but I think he just misjudges how close he is to the wall as he goes back.
Wow. What a play here.
He slammed into it, too. This was not kind of half speed. This was on the run. Boom. And one of the several times that you're happy during the course of a year that a wall is not made the way they used to make them. Cement walls or just really hard walls in general. That's got a little give to it, thankfully, for Garcia.
He got a late break. It was hit at him, and sometimes you'll see that with a center fielder, the ones that are hit right at him, just getting a jump on it, the judging of it. Broke his sunglasses and makes a fine play and takes the extra base hit away there from DeYoung.
So now 4 balls in a row hit hard by the Cardinals.
And the 0-2 pitch to Dexter Fowler. 1-2 the count.
I wonder if they're repairable or not. My guess is he's got a few other pair. Needs, oh, look at that. It worked. You know, you could always get some super glue from Genesis Cabrera. I know he's got some of that because he has to use it on his nails.
The 2-2. Ooh, and they thought they had strike 3, and now a full count.
Nottingham's done that a few times in this series where he's assumed a pitch was a strike that wasn't, and kind of shown up the umpire a little bit. That's a little edgy for a catcher to be doing that.
First strikeout for Anderson. Play made off the bat of Molina, the one off the bat of DeYoung, and then the strikeout of Fowler. 1-2-3 go the Cardinals.
For the Redbirds this afternoon, it marks the first time a switch-hitting rookie has batted cleanup in any lineup in baseball in the year of 2020. Now, Dylan hasn't batted higher than 6th at any point this season, but Mike Schultz says it comes down to who's taking the better at-bats. Simply, Dylan Carlson has taken really good at-bats, something he was toying with, he said, but with him being able to be a switch hitter and them being a matchup group, that's pretty much part of it. But it's about putting the first 7 guys in a position where they don't have to do a lot and they can do as necessary towards the bottom of the lineup, Danny. But it's officially the 6th different Cardinal this season to bat cleanup for the Redbirds.
Urias grounds out to second. Now it's Nottingham. They need to score runs.
No doubt. And you do that by getting traffic, running the bases well, and doing damage. And that's a simple recipe, but Cardinals have run into some good pitching lately. And I think about what Woodruff did yesterday. He was nasty. A lot of credit came from the Cardinals side about just how good he was. And that wasn't, you know, I don't think that was a conceding type language. He just really was good. Very solid for them.
So if the Cardinals win, they're in the playoffs. Since 2000, they have made 13 trips to the playoffs, second most to the Yankees. They've played 134 games. That also second most to the Yankees, 144 games. A lot of October baseball that missed in.
And really a lot of things have to go wrong for them to not make the playoffs. As we mentioned, they have to lose 3 straight. And San Diego has to lose today. Those 4 things all have to happen for them to not go to the playoffs. So the odds are in their favor, but you still want to get it done, and you still want to, as I mentioned earlier, save your pitching.
On the ground is short. Cardinal Baseball brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good, by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by Steel, find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com.
Every manager, every coach, every player is going to say you play for today, but you have to have in the back of your mind, what if there is a tomorrow and we have to play? And for the Cardinals, one of the challenges, Dan, is who pitches. There won't be any starters on short enough day rest to pitch because you're not going to have Hudson, you're not going to have Martinez, and it would have to be Kim on 3 days rest, or Oviedo, or the bullpen, or all of that.
Johnny Holstaff, huh?
It might be. And again, you just need to win one if you get to that point, but let's not get there.
And if you missed the pregame show, Cardinals activated Austin Dean from the 10-day injured list. They optioned Nabil Crismat to the alternate training site, and Dakota Hudson will have Tommy John surgery.
He'll have that tomorrow, and John Mozeliak, Mike Schilt talking about some of the complexities of even getting the surgery done. So we wish him the best, and we don't know when we'll see him next.
First strikeout for Austin Gomber. Bader, O'Neill, Wong coming up. No score. Would like to congratulate the Cardinals 2020 Hall of Fame class. Hurd, Tudor, and Bill White. Edward Jones proud to partner with the Cardinals to recognize the organization's most cherished assets. They're Hall of Famers. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
We talked about this earlier in the week, Dan, but just to bring it up again, with those guys, we look forward to being able to celebrate here at Busch.
High fly ball into deep right center. One hopper off the wall. Bader off to the races, on his way to third, and in there with a leadoff triple.
Well, there's a good start to the inning. There's some damage for you. That's Bader. And I think he thought that was out and thought, well, maybe it's not going to be out. I'm going to have to get there. And he had to run actually through Jed Jerka, who was in his way. I wonder if they would have called interference if he didn't make it to third, but a moot point as he slides in safely.
Infield in, shift on the left side, and now it's Tyler O'Neill. Second triple this season for Bader. 0-2 the count.
Production at the bottom of your order. We talked about production from the cleanup spot, but boy, it'd be nice to get some from 7, 8, and 9.
Bader's first extra base hit in his last 16 games.
So to quickly finish my point, Dan, for the new Cardinal Hall of Famers, for the great moments we've seen this year, Yadi's 2000th hit, Waino's great year. I just want to celebrate with fans here and have special days for those guys in 2021.
2-2.
So with the infield in, the instructions to Bader will be you're not going to see him take off unless it gets through the infield, not with nobody out. And that's what the Brewers are doing. Instead of staying back, they know how fast he is, and they have to play in, I mean really in, because Bader's quick enough that they can't be kind of halfway.
2-2 pitch again off the plate. Good at bat here by Tyler O'Neill. Colton Wong on deck. O'Neill batting in the 9th position in this lineup.
I like the at-bats in general so far.
Three-two pitch, and he walked him. Kia give it everything. Colton Wong, 6-game hitting streak at the start of play today, and the numbers during the streak.
.364 batting average. Just had a really good eye on the strike zone, and now we're going to have a visit with Anderson and the head athletic trainer out to talk to him with Craig Counsell right behind him. They've lost Burns in this game. I wonder if it's something to do with a blister. They're looking at his finger. That last pitch was not a competitive pitch. It's like it just almost slipped out of his hands, and I think he's going to have to come out. Craig Counsell looks a little dejected here, and he's not going to leave alone. He's going to take Anderson with him. Wow.
And so no one was throwing in their pen.
The frustration, understandably, of Anderson. Now, there are a lot of good choices in the bullpen for Milwaukee, especially late. But it's turned into a bullpen game for them. So Freddie Peralta, his first man out of the bullpen, and a lot of thinking going on for Craig Counsell.
Wong coming up, runners at the corners, nobody out in the home half of the third. Freddie Peralta was reinstated from the paternity list on Saturday. His fiance gave birth to a baby girl on Friday, so he is in. He is not allowed to run in 8 1/3 innings in September. And that was the final pitch of the afternoon for Anderson as his day came to a close.
Shaking his finger there, and again, don't know whether it's a cut on his finger, a blister, or, you know, sometimes you can get a strain in a finger. Adam Wainwright had that one year. I've had it by over torquing a pitch, maybe trying to throw a slider too hard. You can actually, not a good medical term, but feel like you sprain a finger essentially. And so it's not that it hurts that badly. You just can't grip a ball and you can't throw it. And it could be that. Who knows what it is? But what it has done is create some issues for Craig Counsell, choosing to go to Peralta first. And you and I talking between innings, Dan, you had a thought, and, you know, Devin Williams is their guy. And is this a key moment for him, perhaps, even though it's early? Do you just need him now? But the other side of that coin is, and I think that's a great question, the other side of it is, how available is Josh Hader today? Over 20 pitches the last 2 days. Is he available? I would guess he is, considering the circumstances, but certainly not available for more than one.
So he pitched Friday for 22, yesterday 21. Now he has not pitched on 3 days consecutively since late July. But given the stakes, you got to think he's available.
But yeah, I would think so.
Wong has been really good with runners in scoring position. 371 this year. That's his average.
Well, big opportunity here, and here's where we're talking about damage. Got to do some damage here, and really, you'd like to start thinking about getting a crooked number on the board, not just getting a run in, but getting more than that. First things first.
So Peralta hasn't pitched since last Sunday against Kansas City.
How sharp will he be?
Strike one on Colton Wong. O'Neill is running, and the throw to second is not in time, and Tyler somehow stayed on the bag.
How about that? That's a gutsy move right there by the Cardinals and by Tyler O'Neill, who you can argue is as fast as anybody on the Cardinals team once he gets going. Got a pretty good jump, and it was a really good throw too, but to the outside part of the bag went O'Neill, and hanging on.
Well, he went it hard. The second base bag stayed on. And the stolen base for Tyler O'Neill is third, which is a new season high. And with that, they'll back up the infield.
So ground ball to the right side is actually a good thing now. And it wasn't a moment ago.
The 1-1 pitch to Colton Wong. And did he go? Yes, he did. So the ball did hit Wong, but they're going to say he swung.
And they're going to say the runners have to go back because you can't advance when the ball gets away. Even though he didn't make contact, it hit him, but he swung at it. This happened earlier in the year with Anthony Rizzo. And does he swing or not? Yes. Is he hit? Yes. Ball's dead immediately.
Also happened with Tommy Edman, too.
Yes, it did. Mark Carlson's our home plate umpire. He was right on top of that. And the Brewers looking for verification that he actually called that a strike. That must have been a nasty pitch to swing at it and have it hit your back leg.
Cardinal success rate, scoring runs from third with less than 2 outs, 8th worst in baseball, about 45%. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Colton Wong. Off the glove of Peralta. Runners advance. Wong is safe. They throw it away. 2 runs will score. It's 2-0 St. Louis.
It was gutsy for Bader to take off from third on a ball hit back to the mound. He just had a feeling, I guess. He takes off, and it's off the glove, and he keeps on coming. And then the stress creates that throw. He was falling off to the first base side, the sidearm throw, and Stubby Clapp had to hit the deck. Boy, that's a big break.
And now Tommy Edman, and still nobody out.
Should be a base hit and an error, I would guess.
The speed of the Cardinals paying dividends in this inning, as Tommy is looking to bunt, and strike one.
That is pretty good speed when you've got Bader and O'Neill at the bottom of your order.
You bet.
That stolen base was huge in that inning. I mean, the inning that's still this inning, not that inning, this inning. For him to get to second, it just changed the entire complexity of options for Milwaukee. They played the infield back. They got on their heels.
0-2 the count on Edman.
Maybe
started with a triple, then the walk.
Maybe a little more pressure.
Yep. And a strikeout of Edman. And Peralta gets the first out here in the home half of the third. Goldschmidt 3 for 4 with a pair of home runs against Peralta. One out, runner at second. Outfield is deep. Kubota power stats. Team ranks this season for Goldie. First in average, third in homers, fifth in runs batted in, first in OPS. Base hit into left field. Here comes Colton Wong. He will score, and Goldschmidt makes it 3-0 St. Louis.
We talked about the Cardinals doing damage with the bat, and this is damage here. Hitting with runners in scoring position after Edman strikes out. He takes a pitch middle away, 95, and drives it into left center. Several good at-bats for the Cardinals in this game. They really had a lot of good swings, a lot of good approaches against Milwaukee pitching.
And a ball to Dylan Carlson. Well off the line at third is Urias. Outfield straight away and deep for Dylan Carlson. 2 balls and no strikes. 13th multi-hit game of the season, leading the club for Goldschmidt. He stands at first. He's now 4 for 5 against Peralta.
Cardinals have taken the lead in the third, and the Padres have taken the lead over the Giants in the fourth.
A frustrating afternoon it's starting to turn out to be for Craig Counsell in this inning when you think about how it started with Anderson having to go out with apparent blister or finger issue, going to his bullpen. Now trailing 3-0. (3-0). Molina on deck. As Ricky just mentioned, the Padres leading the Giants. Rays leading the Phillies. Boy, the Phillies just an awful 7 to 10 days.
Their bullpen's been a mess. Oh my. I guess the question of whether or not he's going to swing at the 3-0 pitch was just answered emphatically.
Came out of his shoes.
Last time he did that, you know what happened the last time he did that? The end of that at bat?
I'm fine with it.
Mike Schilt thinking we're going to trust you with a 3-0. He fouled it off, but then did some damage immediately following.
3-2. Goldschmidt, the runner at first base, and a 3-2 pitch. And a strikeout of Dylan Carlson. So the second strikeout for Peralta comes back to get Dylan. And now it's Yadier Molina.
Peralta's been both a starter and a reliever for Milwaukee. I'm not sure where he fits best long term, but he has had a good season. But you mentioned him not pitching for 10 days. You're just not sure what you're going to get. Maybe a rested guy, maybe a guy that doesn't have his full command.
He's had good strikeout numbers last year. Struck out 13 per 9. This year about 15 per 9. Appeared in 39 games a season ago.
Which puts him what, third on the team?
Yeah. And you got Williams and Hader. Yadi lined out to left field.
So has that conversation in the bullpen go, I got 15 strikeouts per 9. Goes, well, sorry, I've got 17. Sorry, I've got 19, 20, whatever Devin Williams has, which is ridiculous. how good he's been. That's a guy you just don't want to see today, frankly. I like watching him pitch, but I can watch him pitch next year.
It's been fun to watch.
Yes.
2-0 pitch to Molina. 3-0 the count.
I think we've seen elements of the command in and out for Peralta. Coming into a game, having to warm up on the mound, that's always part of it. But the layoff, he's a little bit spotty with his fastball.
Three and one. Molina pulls it foul. I don't know if you're thinking it, but I am. Is this his final game here?
Well, I mentioned it earlier and said I shudder to think that it is. So every time he comes to the plate, I'm going to be thinking about it.
I am. I'm thinking about it. The 3-2 pitch. And I know you're, as a player, you're in the moment. You're thinking, I mean, he's not worried about, is this my final game here? He's thinking of, how am I going to hit this guy who's throwing 95?
Yeah. Yep, there's no doubt. No question about it. It's just like Wainwright saying when he came off the mound yesterday, he was not conscious of, is that the last time I've come off the mound in St. Louis? He said he wasn't thinking about it. There was no emotions other than he was down 3-0 and frustrated by that. But honestly, he pitched well enough that he should win with that kind of game that he had, and just didn't work out.
A 3-2 pitch to Molina. And he walked him. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. This great catch by Garcia in center.
22.1 feet per second is the sprint speed. I'd like to know what the impact velocity was there on the wall. That was some play. You know, defense always matters in a game. He made that play early. Tommy Edman made a play on the backhand in the first inning, which things could have gone a different direction for Gomber. He doesn't make that play, turns it into a double play. Then Freddie Peralta makes an error on a ball hit to him. Defense always factors into the game. It just does. And that includes not holding the runner closely enough. Tyler O'Neill steals the base. Really changed the inning.
So first and second now, Paul DeYoung. 3-0 our score. Great play there by Nottingham to keep that in front. Somehow keeps this in front as he overcooked the slider.
Wow. Well done.
Padres a 2-1 lead, top of 5 in their ball game. And DeYoung, a little flare out to shallow left. That'll drop for a base hit. Goldschmidt will score. And Paul DeYoung makes it 4-0 Cardinals.
Well, you can add this one to the long series of good at-bats the Cardinals have had in this game. Gets jammed a little bit, but gets the job done. Again, damage being done by the Cardinals offense in this game. Their RISP has been outstanding.
And the ninth man to come to the plate here in this third inning is Dexter Fowler. 4-0 St. Louis. Shift on the right side for Dexter. You see the Cardinals 3 for 4 with runners in scoring position. It was DeYoung's 11th 2-out RBI this year. That leads the club. One ball and 2 strikes.
Well, you know what I'm going to say, Dan. I always say it. Mas carreras.
More runs.
Milwaukee's going to have some fight in them the rest of the way today. You know they will. They have no reason not to.
Inside. I see the Billiken in the front row, and Travis Ford is there too. Head coach of the Billikens. Before you know it, it'll be college basketball season. Knock on wood.
Right.
They're loaded this year. 2-2 pitch. Pulled foul.
Also see our late bat boy, or ball boy I should say, the guy down the line for so many years, an usher, Aaron, and passed recently, and he's in the second row too. I think that's a nice tribute to him and to his family, having him here at the ballpark today.
The 2-2. And Fowler sends it out to shallow center, and the catch is made. Keston here, a long way to go to make that play. All started with Harrison Bader and his triple. The big inning for St. Louis, 4-0. Our What's on Tap potential doubleheader in Motown, Detroit. On Fox Sports Midwest, Bud Light Seltzer, What's on Tap. Normally, the final day of a season, our What's on Tap would be Spring Training 2021, but the oddity of this What's on Tap would be potential doubleheader.
Well, everything else is different, so it might as well do that. My tentative schedule says February 27th.
First game, right?
First game of 2021 against the Marlins. Who do you think's pitching?
Jack Flaherty.
Okay.
Give you a couple innings.
Any more insights?
Followed by Ryan Helsley to give you a couple.
Okay.
They'll ask him to come in as a starter, get stretched out. Here's Yelich, 2-1 the count. Single to center his first time up.
You've always been a man of vision, Dan. You're seeing that far ahead. I'm impressed.
Thank you. Yachty quickly out to talk to Gomber. While we have a moment, quick word of great Southern Bank.
Over 100 helpful locations, plus our most convenient location, your pocket. Great Southern Bank.
Nolan Gorman with a 2-for-3 day. That's just off the plate and leadoff walk. Not what you want to see.
So Gorman's get a big fly with that, or just a couple hits?
Big fly.
Okay.
Yeah. Coming out hot. Scoreless inning, Zach Thompson. Game 2 starter Matthew Liberatore.
And you and I on the backfields all morning.
You got it.
Now that I can guarantee.
And then on the back nine. Shh.
Don't tell all the secrets, dude.
Yeah. Well, one of us might be on the backfields, and I can tell you it won't be me. Here's Ryan Braun, grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. Really good play by Tommy Edman early on. It's one of those plays that gets lost in the shuffle if you win this game, because if Braun hits it past Tommy, you know, you just don't know. Does it open up the floodgates, that kind of thing? So
he kind of made it look easy too.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I mean, off the bat, I thought it might be a double. Oh boy.
3-0.
Oh boy. Well, we talked about the long time sitting for Austin Gomber. And it seems like he may have gotten off his zone a little bit. You start aiming it, and then it gets worse. And you can't go too far with that.
It's back-to-back walks, and now Jerko.
And of course, the first thing you think of, and of course anybody that's been around baseball would say this and know this, you get a lead, you don't walk anybody, right? I mean, so naturally he's not trying to walk anybody. There are times where you just lose your command. It's unfortunate. It's not an excuse. It's just a fact, and it's unfortunately a bad fact for Gomber right now. He's got to figure it out quickly. He's got to make a fast adjustment to get back on time. And sometimes throwing an off-speed pitch does it for you.
And that's to the backstop. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 starts this season, 2 of which came on doubleheader days. Gomber 11 2/3 scoreless innings. Giovanni Gallegos starts to get loose in the Cardinal bullpen. Two balls and 1 strike. Jerko fly to right his first time up. That's out of play.
Sometimes when a pitcher's going through this, it makes hitters a little confused. Dan, you realize they're thinking, okay, I know he's walked a couple guys and he's wild, so then do I take more pitches and then maybe you take a fastball right down central, and so you're kind of in between a little bit yourself, and that's the effectively wild conversation, that guys are a little uneasy at the plate. You know, it should be an advantage for them, frankly, but sometimes it works the other direction.
Two lifted out of play. The shadows mentioned the other day during the doubleheader becoming a factor towards the plate. It is a little bit cloudy here at Busch Stadium. 2-2. One caught Yachty. He was saying the other day it has felt like 180 games this season.
Yeah. Players don't really like to talk about them being fatigued, Dan, but you think about how many pitchers the Cardinals had to carry for so long. First 20 games of the year, the bench was just 3 players. So how do you get rest for your regular players as you head into all these doubleheaders? Just can't happen. And there aren't guys on your roster, I'm talking about players, that you can option out either. So it's not like you can kind of go in and out with guys.
3-2 pitch.
Think about the couple days that we noticed that Colton Wong was rested several games of a doubleheader, like say the first game of a doubleheader, maybe 3 times in a row, and that's probably been a good thing for him. But DeYoung hasn't had that much rest. Goldschmidt has not had that much rest, and of course Yachty won't take it either.
And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Big strikeout there.
Well, this will be, if he's able to get out of this unscathed, this will be his pitch of the day. This is a changeup on 3-2 to Jerko. There's the changeup grip and the downward movement. We said he's been using it more, and that was a nice time to break that out. Now he's got lefty on lefty. He hit Vogelbach last time up. Checking the card, so he and Yachty are on the same page with signs. That's not a scouting report. Those are series of signals, because there's a runner at second base that's paying attention.
This is last night off of Adam Wainwright.
Kind of a sweeping swing and a lot of pop into the cardboard.
And the 0-1. Now 0-2. Well, you're right, Ricky. You may go back to that changeup as being the pitch of the game.
Might be.
Still some unfinished business here. He's got Vogelbach at 0-2, and then Hiram on deck, lined out. This season, 5 for 29 with runners in scoring position. And backhanded. Edman, long throw out there. Runner advanced to third base. Yelich scores. That makes it a 4-1 game.
I'll take the out. So here's an odd play. As deep as Tommy Edman is playing and where he's positioned, he makes a terrific play to make the throw, but there's nobody covering third base. So that allows the runner, Braun, to go from second to third. Getting out of this with one run would be terrific.
And now Keston Hiura. Hiura lined out to second, first time up. One ball and one strike.
Hiura strikes out a lot, but contributes a lot with his power.
1-2.
83 strikeouts this year for Hiura.
Do you imagine when you're playing a second baseman doing that?
No. But he also leads the team in home runs and RBIs.
Right. And the 1-2 pitch.
Boy, it'd be simple to say that Gomber's overthrowing this inning, but that's what it looks like. Doesn't quite have that sweet spot with his release point. Pitch number 74 coming up.
And the 2-2 with a runner at third and 2 outs. Swing and a miss. He got him. And the strikeout. So Milwaukee picks up a run. The bottom of the fourth rolls in. This all-important game. It's 4-1. Cardinals home run. This Fredberg doing a little painting, but sometimes I guess nature calls. Need a little break. We're in the fourth inning. Top of the lineup coming up after we'll see Bader and O'Neill, then Wong. Bader started everything with a triple. Run scored, then O'Neill walked. He scored. And Wong had the base hit, and he scored. Cardinals have a 4-1 lead.
Like to see the Cardinals add on. As I mentioned, the Brewers just aren't going to quit. They're not going to. And of course, they got to gift that inning with the leadoff walks, but they've got some fight in them. We've seen that already this year. This team in Milwaukee does have fight.
Two 2-0 the count.
But Peralta throws a lot of arms and legs at you, doesn't he?
Sure
in
does.
This motion. Now, easy you'd be distracted by that, by his mechanics, by his. I mean, he's just got a lot of effort in what he does, and almost a violent wind-up.
And Bader launches one out to deep left into Big Macklin, and he hit the painting. He hit the painting for Fredberg. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, yeah. Fredberg, where you at? He hit the painting in Big Macland.
Oh, my. That may be the hardest ball he's ever hit in his life. There's the fastball. Boom. And he knew it right away. Good thing Fredberg wasn't working. That hits the painting. Unbelievable. That's not first row of Big Macland. That's about halfway up.
425 feet into Big Mac land. And he hit the painting. Unbelievable.
I think Fredberg needs to get Harrison to sign that painting for him.
No doubt.
So, what are the how many balls would you have to hit for that to actually happen? I mean, how possible is that? We don't see a lot of balls
It's
up.
impossible.
We don't see a lot of balls hit up there, period. And we also don't see a lot of mascot props up there very often
No.
either. That was fun. See,
Let's
Tyler's
fall back.
thinking, now what do I aim at? I think that was 425 plus, by the way.
Thought it was more.
I do.
He hit Fredberg's painting. I never thought I'd make that call. His Jerko makes the catch.
And if he'd actually been painting and working during the inning, there's nobody up there except for cardboard friends to tell him to watch out.
Right.
So he would have known the ball was coming, right?
Would have hit him on his tail feather.
That probably would have been even funnier.
Yes.
Easy for me to say because I'm not Fredberg. Oh, my. Well, if he broke the easel, I think you should send the bill to Harrison also.
Of all the times that he needed a break. By the way, the painting is spectacular. I mean, that's Bob Ross would even give it 2 thumbs up.
I can't really make it out very well from here. Kind of a landscape.
Yeah. Beautifully done by Fredberg.
Perhaps it should make its way to the St. Louis Art Museum.
Good.
We've got a tremendous museum. We've got French Impressionists on one floor. We've got kind of the Baroque period. And then you've got the Busch Stadium mascot period.
With a dent in it. Catch made by Yelich. I honestly can't believe he hit the painting.
So you know what that makes me think of, and anybody that's ever been in this game and had a uniform in the minor leagues, there's always a gimmicky thing. Yeah, there's a gimmicky thing that if you hit the ball through this thing, you win a car.
Ricky, we have it in spring training.
Yeah, we do. We have it in spring training, and it's normally like there's no way anybody could hit it that far or into that little area. And that's actually in Portland. There was actually a hole in the wall, and the big left field wall was huge, and they had a hole in the wall for some reason. And if you hit it through that hole, I don't know, you want a sandwich or something. But it just was never going to happen. Oh, I see Fredberg to the rescue.
Yeah, he's on his
his scooter. Yep. I want to see his reaction.
He's now holding his painting right now. That's out of play.
I think he's stunned.
He is. Now, we have to explain this to our viewers at home. We do a world feed, so the folks in Milwaukee get our feed. And so we are having to show everything that goes on with that.
Yes.
And so we can't always just be cutting away to Fredbird, as they'd be saying, quit showing us Fredbird. But I can tell you, Fredbird right now he's picked up his painting. He's looked at it. He looks ticked off.
But Fredbird, by the way, was dressed. I didn't quite get the deal, but he was dressed up as Bernie Brewer the other day.
Right.
I kind of missed that.
I did too. We later got word he was Bernie Brewer. He's looking at his painting. See if it's got a dent. Bader, the blast into Big Mac land. Hit the painting. 5-1.
Apparently Harrison Bader is an art critic. 5-1 Cards as we move to the fifth. John Mozeliak announcing before the game that Dakota Hudson will have Tommy John surgery tomorrow, performed by Dr. Paletta. Mo says recovery time usually between 9 and 15 months, which means 2021 could be out. Mo says Dakota was initially thought to have a forearm flexor. He says Dakota didn't have the normal experience when you blow out a ligament. He said he didn't have the pop or the tearing sensation. It was a bit of a head scratcher for the medical crew at first. Mo says how long Dakota takes to recover depends on how his rehab goes. Danny.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. And, you know, you think about where the team was and is. It's kind of a matter of survival, you know, just getting back.
Yeah.
But these guys are so competitive now. It's like, let's go win this thing. You know?
Well,
let's go win it.
You kind of just get you know, giddy on, you know, think about times where you've just been overly tired and all of a sudden you just kind of get excited again. Well, maybe the Cardinals will get to that point. Gallegos first out of the Cardinals bullpen today, and he's going to try to kind of quiet things after the Brewers scored a run in the fourth inning. But I do say that Dakota Hudson and John Gant being out is a big negative. I mean, clearly. I mean, if they're important to you, then if they're not there, then they're going to be a big negative.
There's a swing and a miss, and that's a good start for Gallegos. Dakota Hudson, 40 starts, 19-9, 3.24 ERA, 8th best in the National League since the start of 2019. ERA better than Kyle Hendricks, Yu Darvish, Max Fried, Trevor Bauer. I mean, that's a big loss for the Cardinals.
And that was a slider from Gallegos, and the bottom just dropped out of it. And I would say this, if you are dealing with the loss of Martinez and Gant, I should add Carlos, Martinez, Gant, and Hudson in a playoff scenario, all the more important to win this game today, because Hudson would be a guy that you could have available tomorrow if he'd have been healthy, and so it kind of puts a little more pressure, I think, on the Cardinals side to win this one.
So here is Sogard, who's been a thorn in the Cardinals side this weekend. Had that long third inning for the Cardinals offensively. Then in the fourth, you could just see that maybe because of the long offensive inning.
Right.
That
little rusty.
Gomber just wasn't as sharp.
You know what you try to do during those innings where you have to sit a long time? Steal a couple extra warm-up tosses when you go out, just to make sure you get that feel back again. And not saying he didn't do that. You know, you're supposed to get 8 or whatever you're supposed to, but run out fast and get that feel back again. Get the juices flowing again. And speaking of juices flowing, Gallegos is in a much better spot than the first game we saw him after he came off the injured list. He was a little
rusty
shaky,
as well.
Rusty as well, yes.
Jacob Nottingham on deck. And it's 2-2. The Padres have a 2-1 lead, top of the 6th against San Francisco.
Looks like Fredberg's making some repairs, by the way.
Notice that. And the 2-2 ground ball that rolls fair. Goldschmidt steps on the bag for the out. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals, and by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. Two outs and nobody on. Here's Nottingham. Fastball and a strike at 96. Velocity's been good today too.
Sure has. Well, he was having a struggle the first time he came back with locating the slider, and the velocity was down a little bit, but he's back to his normal form.
Well, when you see this too, you think then this could be a late inning guy.
Yes.
This is the late inning Gallegos that we've seen.
So you've had several other guys that have filled in there. Genesis Cabrera, Alex Reyes, Ryan Helsley. Now you've got some choices.
Quick work by Giovanni Gallegos. Well, how is the painting? It's got a dent in it. Subway restaurants proud to feature the Cardinals fan favorite for September, the steak and cheese sub. It's fueling fans around St. Louis all month long. 5-1, bottom of the fifth here in St. Louis in Busch Stadium. The lights have been flipped on here at the ballpark. Justin Topa, hard throwing right-hander. Chevy called to the pen.
Very hard throwing right-hander. He gets it up to 100 miles an hour, and he's been a good find for them. Really kind of come out of nowhere too.
So Gallegos has struck out multiple batters now in each of his last 3 outings. 6th time this season. It's 98 on that first pitch, pulled foul. Paul Goldschmidt leads it off.
You know, Dan, I've got to make one more point about the Bader home run.
Yeah.
You know, there is a famous landscape artist called Winslow Homer. So if the art museum buys that painting, they could put it in the Homer collection and it would be appropriate.
It fits.
It does. I'm still not believing 425. I was thinking 440 plus.
It was a bomb.
I still don't feel safe. How about you?
With
this Brewers team?
I would agree. I mean, you're in the final day of the season. I mean, there's a strike.
You think about what they have at the back end of their bullpen is typically zeros, right? So now you've got the ability to, you know, get the lead early on, but scoring from here on is not going to be easy. Not saying impossible, and that means that your bullpen now has 4 more innings of work to do. You know, Gomber having a 4-inning start, he was good, gave up only 1 run, but the high pitch count. So instead of going 5 or 6 as he did last time, more work for the Cardinals bullpen.
There's Dylan Carlson. And he is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and also flied out to right. 1 ball and 1 strike. Seeing a more confident Dylan Carlson, just the way he's swinging the bat.
And even if he has an offer in this game, he's looked good at the plate. He's looked dangerous at the plate. I like him where he is in the lineup.
1-2 the count. We called back on the 18th of this month. Fooled on that pitch, waved at it, struck out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Topa.
Well, he throws 100 and has that.
And now Yadier Molina. 1 ball, 1 strike. So for folks that are curious, if the Cardinals win, clearly it's very simple. They're in.
Correct.
Brewers, though, have a chance to still get in.
Yeah, all they got to do is win. They win, they're in.
Cardinals would then have to go play Detroit tomorrow.
And would have to win at least 1 of 2 games there. Well, you just have to win 1. That's it. Or the Giants could lose. And if the Giants lose, the Cardinals lose. The Cardinals are still in. And that score right now is 2-1 San Diego. Now, the guys that throw 100 break gloves, not the guys that throw 85. I like to say I had several instances of a catcher having to walk back and get a new glove, but I don't remember it. Of course, you have to check in your glove to make sure it's still together, and he didn't actually go through the glove, but it tore it. That's why you have a backup.
Or 2.
Yes.
On the ground is short. And the Cardinals go in order. 5-1. We head to the 6th. Healthcare difference maker, the starter today, Austin Gomber.
Well, this is the play of the game first. This is Tommy Edman turning a double play. Gomber on the mound for that. But Gomber was able to settle down. He got some traffic in an inning, but that's the strikeout of Jerko. The big pitch there. Then he strikes out Hira to end the inning. Only 1 hit and 1 run allowed through 4. Good work, Austin Gomber.
It was an efficient first inning for Giovanni Gallegos. He threw 11 pitches, struck out 2. And now it's the top of the lineup in Garcia, with the potential maybe playing the doubleheader tomorrow. It's not wrapped up. You extend potentially Gallegos for 2 innings here. You got to save your pitching.
You really do. And again, that's the point about Gomber going 4 instead of 6. That's just 2 more innings that somebody's got to pitch him.
It out of play. So if the Cardinals win, they'll be the number 5 seed. The Padres have already clinched the 4 seed, so they'd match up. Padres hadn't been to the postseason since 06, 13-year drought. Team that knocked them out, the 2006 Cardinals. And we know what happened that year.
Yes, we do.
So Brewers, Dodgers, if it ended today. Cardinals, Padres, Marlins, Cubs, and the Reds, and the Braves. I don't think anybody wants to face the Reds right now with the way that they're coming together.
He's actually thinking through a scenario where you actually would rather. I mean, do you want to play the Padres either? I mean, that's a question. That's who the Cardinals would have if they win today. I mean, you can't really think that way. You just got to get in and then figure out who you're going to be playing against. But one of the top seeds going to have to play a seed above the Cardinals is going to have to play the Reds.
About the Marlins, 105 losses a year ago, 61 players used. They become the worst team ever to clinch a playoff berth the following season. As Yelich lifts a high fly ball left center, there is Harrison Bader to make the catch.
Got to check the Atlanta game today too, because coming into play today, Marcell Ozuna had a shot at the Triple Crown with the kind of year that he's having.
I think he hit a home run today.
Well, the home run wasn't the problem. The average is. If he finishes with the best average, I think RBIs and average. I mean, RBIs and home runs are I think even more likely, but he's got a good shot at it with the numbers I saw.
There's Ryan Braun. DJ LeMahieu has a .031 lead over Tim Anderson, and that would be for the batting crown in the American League, Ricky. So he would have the chance to win the crown in the National League and the American League.
And Ozuna did hit his 18th. That leads the National League. His RBIs now up to 56. It was a solo shot. He's ahead of Freddie Freeman, his teammate, and he was only 3 points below Juan Soto.
Wow. And he did not have a good spring training, by the way. I guess that didn't matter for him.
Well, actually, he was 10 points below. That was Freddie Freeman that was close to him. So still, the average probably not going to happen. He would have had to go 4 for 4 or 5 for 5. That didn't happen. But big year for Ozuna. And with him and Freeman together, that's as good a kind of 1-2 punch as we have in the National League right now.
For sure. Remember, they were looking at Yasiel Puig, and it didn't materialize. Duvall stepped up. They've got a very good offensive club. Bader's coming up. He's already sent one into Big Mac land. He also has a triple. The young Fowler Bader coming up here in St. Louis. So DeYoung, Fowler, and Bader. RBI single back in the third. Hit one to the wall in the second inning. They're in the top of the seventh. Padres leading the Giants 2-1. And the 1-1. Ground ball to third. First out. Homers for Health, it's back. You can join Matt Carpenter and Paul DeYoung in making your pledge for Cardinal Glennon patients today at homersforhealth.org. Make a difference in helping sick and injured kids. Think about the Padres and their pitching. Clevenger, Lamet, Chris Paddock, Garrett Richards, Zach Davies, Trevor Rosenthal in the back end of their games. Manny Machado offensively. Fernando Tatis, Eric Hosmer.
It's a good club.
Yep.
It's a good club that doubled down when things started out well for them. The sense coming into spring training was, all right, it's going to be a better team. They may all come together at the same time and be really good. And then they were good. And then they kept making moves to be even better.
Third best starting pitching in all of baseball in terms of ERA, 3.46. It's been odd when you focus so much in a season in which you just look at the Central.
Yep,
and
that's right.
Your interleague play is in American League Central.
Well, it's really been our baseball world, the center part of the United States, and I think for a lot of Cardinal fans, and certainly Midwesterners that are Cardinal fans, I think the same is true. We know more about the Twins and the White Sox than we do the Angels and the Mariners.
Fowler lifts a fly ball into right, and the catch is made by Braun. Came in on it, then had to go back. We'll see our buddy Tommy Pham too. Our Nissan drive of the game off the bat of Harrison Bader. Sent this into Big Mac land.
Watch the painting.
So a triple and a home run so far.
A homer landscape. I love it.
I want to thank our fans for sticking with us through what has been a difficult baseball season in many ways and tuning in every night.
Yes.
Tremendous fan base throughout our Midwest area and throughout the country.
Just grateful for hearing from so many fans, Dan, that we both heard from on social media that, you know, baseball in general and the Cardinals specifically to these Cardinal fans has been just a needed thing for them. Just a thing to kind of smile about. Hey, when are the Cardinals playing? How are the Cardinals doing? And again, not the same as being at the ballpark, but when you're starving for connection and you're a Cardinal fan who understands connection, it's been great that we've had baseball. We appreciate all those notes from them and expressions of gratitude to just baseball in general.
2-1 pitch. 2-2. Padres are averaging over 5 runs a game. That's the highest in franchise history. The record was set back in 1997. Just below 5, so it's a very good club. 2-2 the count here on Harrison Bader. Yeah, we were at the point whether or not, number one, would they get the CBA agreed to. That was
problematic.
Yes, to say the least. And then you had hiccups along the way.
Yeah.
The shutdown of Miami, the shutdown of the Cardinals.
The potential shutdown of a couple teams that happened with some false positives.
Yes. 3-2 pitch. And a strikeout of Bader. 7th inning coming up. 5-1.
7th inning, 53 games in 44 days, and 11 doubleheaders later, and the Cardinals have arrived at the end of their regular season schedule. I asked John Mozeliak before the game today if he felt at times if the Cardinals might not make it here. He said many times. We never played our full team. Mo said he revisited all of their positive COVID tests the other day, and he said part of the bullpen came in, tested positive at summer camp, so they weren't even available when they began. 10 players slowly coming back. Mo said, I couldn't be more proud of the way those guys have gone through it, because in a lot of ways, it wasn't that much fun. As Jerko singles up the middle, but Mo added the doubleheaders, the scheduling, it was really daunting, and he said for them never to complain and hold it together. I feel lucky to be where we are today, Danny.
Pitching change coming up, and Genesis Cabrera has been getting loose. The base hit by Jerko Vogelbach due up. Genesis Cabrera has been throwing, and so Gallegos pitching into his 3rd inning of relief, and will step aside. By the authority of the Cardinals, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Genesis Cabrera into the ball game. Our Chevy called to the pen. 19th appearance for the Cardinal lefty.
And a key part of the Cardinals bullpen, a couple of days rest for Cabrera, so he should be fresh. The low opponent's batting average, and I think maybe the thing that I've been most impressed with Cabrera is his command has gotten better as the summer has gone on. You know, there were times where I felt like he was just reaching back and throwing it as hard as he can, and didn't necessarily have an idea of where he's going to throw that fastball, but now he does.
Eleven and a third innings by the bullpen this series. 1 earned run, 23 strikeouts, 3 walks. Just off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Last playoff game, by the way, for the Padres, game 4, the 06 division series. Chris Carpenter started that game. Closed out by Adam Wainwright.
Oh.
And he got Adam Wainwright, or Wainwright got Dave Roberts, the current Dodger manager, to ground out to Albert Pujols to end the series. Ground ball slowly hit. Wong will underhand to Goldschmidt, and the out. Lowest bullpen ERAs in the National League this season. Arcia give it everything. The Cardinals behind the Dodgers and the Braves. Cardinals 4.06. It's kind of interesting, but Wainwright then got Carlos Beltran, as we all remember, to end the NLCS.
Right.
Brandon Inge struck out to end the World Series. That Padres team in 06 had Brian Giles, Adrian Gonzalez, Mike Piazza. Woody Williams was the starter in game 4 for San Diego. Remember the pop-up that Mike Piazza, I don't know if you remember this, Mike Piazza had a pop-up that he dropped with Albert, and then Albert hit a home run.
Don't remember that.
And it set the tone for the series. And Belliard made a great play that Jim Edmonds would wind up giving him a game ball for. That started that run of game balls.
That I remember. But I also remember who the winning pitcher in the Beltran strikeout game was against the Mets.
Randy Flores.
Randy Flores.
There's an 0-2 pitch to Keston Hiura, and a swing and a miss.
Well, so far so good with the Cardinal bullpen. They've come out solid. good sinking movement on that pitch. That might have been a changeup at 90 miles an hour, and it was. And Hira strikes out for the second time today and the 85th time this summer.
There's Arcio with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Padres now a 4-1 lead in the top of the 7th over the Giants.
My favorite pitcher's out, so he only went a couple innings, so I don't have to have him as my favorite pitcher anymore.
You have a new favorite.
Let's see who's in. Well, Genesis Cabrera's won. But Austin Adams, I'm big on him now too. Who's in relief, pitcher number 4 for the Padres in that game. You think about the kind of year the Giants have had to be in it also. They've outkicked their coverage in terms of expectations of where they'd be.
Big time.
Yastrzemski, what a year he's had, hitting close to 300.
Three and 1 the count. You win today, you're in. You also get to line up some of your pitching. And that is a massive factor going into postseason play. Take a moment, recognize our season ticket holders of the ball game today, and we have Chuck and Laura Isaac, Mike and Lori Stewart, Lori Logsden, and thank you for your continued dedication to the St. Louis Cardinals. Tyrone Taylor, pinch hitter.
Well, Craig Counsell is going to use all of his bullets here with the Cardinals going left, right, left with their pitching. He's done a little pinch hitting here. He's just looking for somebody that could strike here and get his team back in the game. It's it's just a 4-run Cardinal lead. It's not that it's insurmountable.
Ground ball, backhanded by Edman, and he makes the play. Let's stretch. Cardinals on top. It's 5-1. Cardinals and Brewers. If you win, you're in. And so far, the Cardinals have a 5-1 lead.
Look at the game summary. It's been mostly Cardinals in this game. Austin Gomber, a very good start. Only 1 hit, 1 run allowed. Harrison Bader, the big Maclan home run. Solo shot. A couple of hits from Paul Goldschmidt. And Anderson, Brett Anderson, the starting pitcher, and going back to that was certainly a blow to Craig Counsell. He came out early with some kind of issue on his hand. But the Cardinals were teeing up on him pretty well the first time through the lineup. And again, deeper into the Brewers bullpen, Eric Yardley's had a good season, and he has the bottom of the 7th.
And pulled foul by Tyler O'Neill.
The O'Neill stolen base, the Edman double play in the first, the changeup to Jed Jerko with nobody out from Austin Gomber. Those are 3 distinct times that stick out for me as kind of momentum changers today.
And O'Neill, fly ball into right, and the catch is made by Ryan Braun. Thank you to the Gateway Honda dealers for their continued support of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. There has been over $200,000 donated to granting wishes through the Cardinal home runs. Kolten Wong with 1 out. 1 for 3 today. Cardinals hold an option on Kolten Wong for next season. In there for a strike.
Yeah, you think about the Cardinals lineup on a daily basis. We look at the shadows maybe affecting play as we play at 4:34 Central Time. But you start your lineup. That's one place where you say, boy, I'm comfortable him number 1, comfortable Goldschmidt number 3, and then you kind of work around with everything else. And Edman number 2. Okay, so really 1, 2, 3 in the Cardinals lineup has been a pretty standard approach and a good one.
Excited with what you've seen at the tail end here with Dylan Carlson.
Yes. And I think he's the logical 4 right now. As I mentioned, he's 0 for 3 in this game, but he lined out hard, had second at bat was a good at bat, was really overpowered in the third at bat, but honestly, you still feel good about him being there. I do.
Put in play. Hit. Oh, what a pick by Jerko. What a pick by Jed Jerko. Cardinals will take a look at it, but great play there on the other end.
Well, that's a good play by Hira, too, who does not throw very well. He's had an issue with that. So I thought that was a hit right from the beginning. Very close play, but Jerko saved the day.
Now Tommy Edman. Fly to right and struck out. We're talking during the commercial break. Tommy Edman has made a couple of fine plays at third base. He is smooth at third.
Really is. Money on his throws across the diamond.
Now hit by the pitch, or to get the knob of the bat.
Well, he thinks it's the knob of the bat because he's not going anywhere. Well, you talk about hitting the ball in the sweet spot of the bat. I mean, that's what you try to do, the sweet spot. This is not it. That one gets just thuds and gets the bees going in your hands.
He reminds me a little bit of Daniel Descalso when he played at third base, because both guys not the big burly third baseman.
Right.
They move well. They've got strong arms,
quick feet.
Yep. Descalso at one point was a finalist for the Gold Glove. Eighth inning coming up. It's 5-1. To Cardinals care. Jacob Nottingham, the 8th inning. 5-1 St. Louis.
Got a good suggestion between innings on social media from a couple of people that think that we could get Harrison Bader to sign that painting and auction it off and have the proceeds go to Cardinals care.
I like it.
Apparently we have a couple of bidders, and you being the marketing guy that I am, Dan, you know me pretty well. I just think you put it online and you label it Homer Masterpiece. You don't have to say anything, just call it the Homer Masterpiece, and maybe you'll get $1 million for it.
I don't see why not.
And then a little disclaimer on the bottom explaining it. Just a thought.
Sure, friend Michael Hall will be very pleased to hear you put that together.
Well, Oh, I'm a marketing guy. I don't put it together. I just.
Well, you can do all the legwork too.
I give other people ideas.
1-2 pitch. Center field. Bader won't get there. That drops in for a hit. Leadoff base hit. Nottingham. His first hit today, and he's 1 for 3.
Definitely jammed on this. Fastball in. Hits its spot, but the Sheriff was strong enough to drive that into center.
With at least 20 innings of work, Cabrera's 2.45 ERA, now 10th best in the National League. Devin Williams, number 1, .33. Just saw Yardley carved up the Cardinals. He's 4th, 1.61. So while these National League Central teams haven't hit all that well, boy, they've pitched.
They have, and that's part of the reason why they haven't hit well. The pitching's good in this division. You mentioned the Reds starting staff, not to mention some of the guys in their bullpen. Think about Lorenzen and Iglesias and Amir Garrett having a very good year. I know the Cardinals touched him up a bit, but still there's some good pitching in the division.
Archie Bradley, they added him.
Right.
2 balls and no strikes.
We mentioned this yesterday, but the bottom 5 team batting averages in the National League all belong to the National Central. National League Central.
2-1 on Garcia.
Boy, these last 6 outs still make you nervous.
Alex Reyes throwing in the Cardinal bullpen.
5-1 now, San Diego. Same score as here. 5-1 over the Giants. That game now in the bottom of the 7th.
Honest question for you.
Okay.
With everything that was going on in summer camp and testing, remember over the 4th of July weekend, they were missing tests.
Yes.
Do you think we're going to get to this point?
No. Well, I hoped we would.
Obviously.
But I thought it was more likely than not that we wouldn't. And again, the labor question was an issue. And you've got owners having the prospect of losing a lot of money, which, by the way, they all did, to have baseball this year. So, I mean, the owners get some credit for that. Honestly, it's been a tough year for them to survive. And the players with the physical concerns.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I thought it less likely than not, but you know, baseball is a kind of a survival sport. Always
sure
has been. You think about playing during. I did think a lot about the fact that baseball went on during World War II, and it's a different set of circumstances. I get that, but you had a lot of the star players not playing, but baseball went on, and baseball was.
I thought about that too. Yeah. I've read a lot about it, and somehow, some way, it makes it. It survives.
So you call it the war years when we talk about even some of the statistics from that time, 1944, 1943. You say, well, you know, during the war years, and that was kind of the reason why there's some names missing from some of the league totals. And of course, Ted Williams is a guy you think about, and Stan Musial, but way beyond that even. But this year is going to be known as the COVID year, and hopefully it's the COVID year.
Singular.
Yes, that's what we're all hoping for.
I'm very thankful to the owners for what they're doing. I'm very thankful to the players for doing this.
Yes.
Everybody involved to make this try to happen, and they've done it. And to your point earlier, people reaching out saying it is my respite. At 3 hours a night, I get,
right.
You know, I watch the game. It's takes my mind off of things.
You got enough things to occupy your mind if you want to be bothered by things.
Oh boy.
And we all know that. And yet it's you got to have a balance in your life. Not that important things aren't important things. They are. But to have a discussion about whether it's important or not, or what you think about whether Yadier Molina should be in the Hall of Fame, that's an important thing to talk about, but not on the same level. So it's a lot more freeing psychologically to have that conversation.
Should Dylan Carlson bat fourth?
Yeah. So you can talk about that, and it takes your mind off of some other things for a bit.
Up and in to Yelich. Here's one of those uncomfortable at bats.
Yeah.
And Cabrera is an uncomfortable at bat.
No question about it. You try to protect the outer part of the plate, and there are times it comes in the inner part. And you got to get out of Dodge.
Alex Reyes now will come on with 2 runners on and get into the middle of the lineup. Braun coming up, Reyes coming in.
The Phillies trailing by 5, and there's the standings below. The Cardinals 1 game over 500 with everything in front of them today if they are able to hold on and beat the Brewers. But there's some trouble here in the 8th inning. Alex Reyes, or Chevy called to the bullpen, has had a very good season. 12.5 Ks per 9, the low opponent's batting average. And Reyes has gotten stronger and stronger as things have progressed. And he has got a tough assignment here in Ryan Braun.
Reyes in 18 games has only inherited 8 runners. 1 is scored. September, to your point, 7 games, 1.86 ERA. The slugging percentage 194 in September. So he's had a really good final month as opposed to what he did in August. Not that it was a bad August, but much better in September. One of those questions, would Alex Reyes come into camp next year as a starter or reliever? 97 from Alex Reyes.
Cabrera has started in the past. Gant has started in the past. Ponce de Leon, Gomber, Woodford. I think it'd be interesting to see how many of those guys you do stretch out in the spring we're all hoping for.
Look at that, 98 exploding in on the hands of Braun.
Seeing Alex Reyes pitch it in Jupiter this spring, I wasn't sure he had 98 left in him anymore after his injuries.
He's cutting it loose now.
Now he is cutting it loose, you bet.
And the 0-2 pitch here to Ryan Braun. Runners in scoring position. He comes through. He is a dangerous, dangerous guy. And the 0-2 breaking ball and taken high.
Barring the Brewers coming back, which they certainly have that in them, is this the last at bat for Ryan Braun as a Brewer?
Two and two.
Alex has lost his advantage on Ryan Braun. The breaking pitch has failed him here. Will he go back to the fastball, or will he stick with that breaking pitch? Braun, a good fastball hitter. He's worked it back to 3-2.
Three-two pitch. He struck him out. 99 outside corner. Painted it.
And is that his last walk back to the Brewers dugout? I'd give him a pass for not hitting that. 99 on the corner.
Now Jed Jerko, another guy that could turn around a fastball as well.
Brewers with just 3 hits in this game.
They've left 4 on. Reyes trying to make it 6.
The thing you desperately do not want is the tying run at the plate. Yachty realizes the importance of the moment, and so does the pitching coach Mike Maddox.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good, and by BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better. So 2-0 on Jed Jerko. Top of the 8th, 5-3 San Diego leading the Giants. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-1.
That was a calm down fastball, an easier delivery, and it was 99.
Yeah,
that was an easy 99.
Two and two.
An easy 99 followed by a sinking 98. This young man has a gift.
The 2-2. He got him after the visit. Straight heat. Alex Reyes. 5-1, middle of the 8th. Jose Locke, the president of baseball operations, they have their own section, the cutout, and that is where Mo would go every single day. And he went there. There was a purpose to it. That is where the sun would shine. He said that's the only place I could go get relaxation or sunshine in an empty stadium and collect my thoughts. And so he said, truthfully, that place, that section, those seats have meaning to me, a lot of meaning to me. And we were talking a little bit before the game, and he was kind of emotional about it. He said, we've been through so much as a team, as a ball club, as an organization. And he said, so I get to look at those seats and know, my family's there. And he hasn't seen really his family for basically roughly a month and a half, and now it'll be quarantine time, which they're in right now, and Mo is with them, with the organization and with the team. And so he said, I get to see them there. And so that's where he goes just about every day when the sun is shining, the beginning of the year, the summer, just to get some sunshine and just to go collect his thoughts.
That's
it's amazing.
Very meaningful story. And I think about Mike Schilt all week has been saying this phrase. A lot of things about how hard our world has been and things we've been through. And there's a lot of things that, well, we just haven't shared with anybody yet. And that yet word just rings in my mind of stories just like Mo's story there of things that the players did, and they just don't. It just doesn't come up in a Zoom call when you're asking him who's pitching next to Thursday. He's not going to kind of bring up some of those things, but I would guess that plenty of those things will be talked about as we move along.
Into right and off the wall, Paul Goldschmidt with a long single.
Oh, 3-hit day has gotten him back over 300, and that hit ensured that. He was hitting 300 coming into this at bat, and there's hit number 3, and very nearly home run number 7.
Now Dylan Carlson. So the leadoff base hit by Goldie.
So if the Cardinals are able to hang on, they have been extremely diligent about social distance high fives and celebrations. I wonder what to expect from them on the field if they're able to hold on.
Little squibber left side, ate him up, and everybody is safe. A lot of English on that baseball and the spin off the end of the bat.
I'm guessing this is going to go as an error, but it's literally a hard play because once that ball hits the glove when you're on the move, that's Peterson just in the game.
Ricky, that might be a hit that decides or an error whether he hits 200 for the year.
That's right.
And it's an E5 on the play.
I think the right call.
There's Yadier Molina. As you posed the question with Ryan Braun, now we pose the question here with Yadi. Is this his final Cardinal at bat at Busch Stadium?
I, for one, and I know there's a lot of people in line behind me. I mean, the line goes all the way back, miles and miles, that think it's hopefully not the last one.
If it is, it's a triple play. It's a triple play turned by the Milwaukee Brewers.
That's no way to end. Bring it back. In history, we're going to highlight 29 postseason appearances, 19 pennants, 11 World Series titles, and they are just 3 outs away of starting to chase after more of that. A postseason appearance would happen if Alex Reyes can get through this inning.
Last time a team turned a triple play against the Cardinals was the Red Sox, August 15th, 2017. 722nd in Major League history, by the way. And the second one turned this year. So 5-1 in favor of the Cardinals. Vogelbach looks at a strike. Cardinals 3 outs away from heading to the playoffs. Nothing in 2. A little bit low with a changeup. And now time is called. So not only were we curious and wondering whether or not there would be baseball, but then when the Cardinals were hit with COVID, not once but twice, would the Cardinals even be in this position to even be talking about postseason play? And here they are, 3 outs away. Incredible.
Actually considered a moment whether baseball would continue without the Cardinals.
I'm with you on that one too. 3-2 pitch hit the other way. Edman, long throw deep in the hole. Oh, what a play, Tommy Edman. Vogelbach may be hurt running down the line. And our Bud Light Seltzer plays at the game, and take a look at Harrison Bader with a triple. And also put one up into Big Mac land.
I believe we wanted hits with damage today.
And he got it. Fredbird's painting was damaged.
A home run to Big Mac land and a triple play in the same game.
Vogelbach slow to get off the field as he limps towards the Brewers dugout. Win would give the Cardinals their 13th season above 500, second longest streak in franchise history. Keston Hira, the 1-1. Ground ball. DeYoung up with it. And the Cardinals are 1 out away. Flashback the final day of last year. Took 162 to get into postseason play.
A lot of hugging last year. A lot of champagne. It'll be a little different in 2020, but on the inside, the Cardinals will have a lot to celebrate, Dan.
Here's Arcia. And a fly ball lifted out to deep left field. Carlson back, and it's off his glove. Couldn't come up with it. Orlando Arcia to second base. Good effort by Dylan Carlson. Looked like he had a beat on it, just couldn't come up with it.
Boy, he went a long way to get that in a hurry on a ball that was hit very hard by Arcia. There's the jump by Carlson, a pretty good one and a pretty good route. So not yet.
So Jace Peterson at the plate, ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch. Now 2 balls and no strikes. The Giants have now cut into the Padres lead. It's 5-4. The 2-0 pitch by Alex Reyes. 3-0. And the 3-0 pitch. Looking down to our right in the seats, Mr. and Mrs. DeWitt, along with their son, Bill DeWitt the third, the Cardinals president. And just how odd this is, an empty ballpark, and yet there they are, basically as fans.
You bet. Socially distanced, even. But you know how important this is to them and the ownership group, even beyond them. But for Mr. DeWitt, long time owner now of the Cardinals, and one thing you know about him, he loves October baseball. He's a student of the game. Both Bills are. And there's perhaps more history to be written here for the Cardinals of 2020.
Here's Nottingham, and the first pitch taken high for a ball. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. Popped up and out of play. One ball and 1 strike. The Cardinals 1 out away from returning to the postseason again. The 1-1 ground ball left side. That'll be a base hit, and a run will score. And this will make it a 5-2 St. Louis lead, with the tying run now coming to the plate. Not over yet.
We said the Brewers don't like to go away easily. Nottingham finds a hole left side. 2 diving attempts. And this is the moment we didn't want to see it. The tying run at the plate, as you mentioned.
And Yelich on deck.
Miller getting loose.
Ground ball hit up the middle. Wong is there. Throw to first, and that'll do it. It's been a wild and crazy regular season, and the Cardinals find themselves in a familiar spot. The St. Louis Cardinals are headed to postseason play in 2020. They clinch postseason play for the 2nd straight season, the 30th playoff appearance all time for the St. Louis Cardinals.
That is one relieved and happy group of players. They can go to Detroit some other year.
St. Louis Cardinals back in postseason play. October baseball yet again for this franchise. 5-2 the final. Back with more in just a moment.
No fans in the stands. So what? We've got baseball back to the track, the wall. It's a gunner. A home run for Brad Miller.
Got him with the slider. That's 10 strikeouts.
That's out onto the street. A 3-run shot by Paul Goldschmidt. Full steam ahead. In 60 games, there is no time to spare. It's going to be everything that these guys have, day in and day out.
At the wall, gone!
That's the way to start the season.
Historic day in Cardinal history. The Cardinals haven't played in 17 days overall.
A lot of baseball to catch up with these doubleheaders coming up.
We have an incredible clubhouse in here, so the last thing anybody's going to do is ever panic. So, you know, it's a brand new day every day.
Dylan Carlson making his major league debut.
Base hit! His first major league hit. It's a double.
The Cardinals have swept the doubleheader in their return to major league play.
Cardinals have a little bit of everything, a nice mix in that clubhouse. Mike Schultz at the helm.
The pitching has been magnificent here.
11 strikeouts for Flaherty.
Wainwright, his 39th birthday, 23rd complete game.
For Adam Wainwright, this has been a rejuvenated year.
Kwon Young Kim has been outstanding.
These guys are unbelievable right now. The bases are loaded here in the bottom of the ninth. And he walked him, and this game is over. They score 4 in the bottom of the ninth, and they win it.
That is a team that doesn't quit.
And the Cardinals control their own destiny. St. Louis needed it. Yanni delivered. Homer's Roberto Clemente Day. It's extra special for him.
Paul Goldschmidt, you're talking about production and more production.
At the wall, opposite field home run. Tommy Edman has been so good with runners on base. When he gets a hit, he's making it count. Miller lifts it in the air. Center field, and this ball is gone.
He is just barreling stuff.
The Cardinals have hit their 4th home run tonight.
His group is relentless. 3 in a row for the Cardinals against the team they're trying to run down atop the standings.
Hit number 2,000 for Yadier Molina.
Increíble, Polo. Qué emoción.
They are in the driver's seat right now, so if they keep battling, keep fighting, they're going to find themselves in the postseason.
And that'll do it. It's been a wild and crazy regular season. The St. Louis Cardinals are headed to postseason play in 2020.